Matthew Catlett. What's going on, brother?
What's happening, John Mark?
Man, welcome to, I got to take a drink real quick, but welcome to the podcast.
Well, thank you for having me.
Mm-hmm.
I have listened to a few of the other ones.
Yeah.
And I've enjoyed it so far.
That's great, man.
Keep it up.
Yeah.
Hope I don't hold you back.
No, dude, you're like an accelerant to the fire. It's like pouring gasoline on an open flame.
Straight on it. Boom.
This is what Matthew Catlett is bringing today. So, what you been doing, man? How's life?
Life's been good. Life's been good. Just raising kids, taking care of the family, working.
Yeah.
All day. That's about it.
Yeah. So for anybody listening, I feel like you guys ought to know mine and Matthew's relationship. I met Matthew probably 2 years ago, working in his stores. He's a buyer for a multi-store group that is in the middle of nowhere, basically. And he and I have become really great friends since then. And he's just he's been everywhere. So he's traveled all around the world, and then he's ended up back home. And tell us how you made your way back home.
The way I made my way back home. Let's see. I didn't go really far. You make it sound like I was a world-class traveler. I appreciate it. But
you were. Arkansas is the world, man.
That is true. It's my world.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, growing up, small town, had a great family. You know, I guess you kind of looking back on it, you take advantage of the fact that everyone's there and it's a close-knit. You move off, you go off to college for the fourth or fifth time trying to crush it and end up failing a few times, falling on your face, and just keep getting up, man. And ended up in Little Rock working for a while at a few places. Got my first job at Cisco in the accounting department. They gave me a ring. I got a little bling with it for accounting of the year. Decided I wanted to go into sales because I hated sitting at a desk all day.
Mm-hmm.
No one wanted to give me an opportunity because it's like no one can come from accounting background and be a salesman.
Rumor has it.
Yeah, the other day talked about that.
Yeah, rumor has it that if you were an accountant, you don't have a personality.
That is true.
Yeah.
That's one of the main reasons why I wanted to get out there. It was pretty dry.
Okay. So you get out.
So I get out, and they just throw me out in the middle of a territory in Northwest Arkansas up in Fayetteville.
Mm-hmm.
And I just keep plugging along. And finally, I switched companies after probably 8 to 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Go with another group and ended up growing a huge territory and having a great time doing it.
What do you enjoy about sales?
Just meeting different people every day and the interactions and conversations you get to have.
I think I can speak a little bit on that. You know, I've done my fair share of selling and shaking hands. And, you know, one of the guys that I worked with before always called it the happy hand. You know, whenever you'd meet somebody new and, hey, nice to see you.
Hey, how's it going?
Give them the happy hand. So what was your sales technique like, man? Were you aggressive? Were you the go?
Not really. I was real laid back. I mean, always tried to pick an opportunity where you could see someone where they weren't in a pinch, in a bind, or stressed out, or something like that. Or if they were, you see if you could help them out anyway.
Okay.
And just keep hitting at it until you get your foot in the door.
So you're gone from home for 8 to 10 years, and then you finally decide that you just want to go back. I mean, was it like an up and leave type deal? Was it I miss home? You know, where are you married? You know, what's the love situation like?
Well, I just gotten married and was coming out of a meeting with the company I was working with at the time, and I ended up going back and talking to the head of sales at that time, and I said, hey, you know, it's over a bonus situation. I didn't get my bonus or whatever. And I said, hey, you know, where's my bonus at? And he said, oh, we must have been an issue. We'll go back and see. And then lo and behold, that Monday morning,
hang on, brother.
like all the bricks just fell out from underneath everything.
You were saying that Monday morning?
Yes, that Monday morning, I got a call and had to go in and found out that I'd lost my job and just being 3 weeks married and bottom in the rug just got pulled out from underneath me.
3 weeks into marriage?
3 weeks into marriage is a very humbling experience.
Dang, man. So you're 3 weeks into marriage. You've been working for this company for how long?
At this point, that company I had only worked for 2 years. I had a 2-year guarantee. And then once my 2 years was up, they took my territory and gave it to one of the owner's nephews.
Were you contracted?
Yes. I was only contractor for 2 years.
Man, that's tough, dude. It's kind of like, you know, working for the man, making him look good, and then him just kind of ripping it all away.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awful, man. I hate that.
I got a few offers while I was still up there to come work for different companies, but at that point, I guess I had a bitter taste in my mouth with it, and I wanted to do something different.
So you're just ready to go. Was it a complete career change?
Oh yeah.
Whenever you moved? Tell us about that.
Yeah. I mean, I was in food sales, like I said, for probably at this point 12, 13 years, and up and left and came and got a job at the Discount Ag Center and been working there ever since for about the last 10 or 11 years.
Okay. So what's it like being back in your hometown after being gone and seeing the whole wide world?
It's crazy. You don't realize what all you missed out on and what was going on while you were there, but also the experiences that you gained while you were being gone. You know, you kind of got to weigh them on both sides and see, you know, really where you landed at. And be going honestly, I mean, it's nice to be back home. There's a lot of things I missed out on, like my family and stuff. And now having a family myself, you know, you kind of think about those moments.
Do you feel like the world traveler whenever you're like, oh yeah, well, when I was in Fayetteville, you know, telling stories around like the dinner table, like, you know, whenever I was way gone over in Northwest Arkansas, you know, in this town of 80,000 people, we could go out and like have fun on Friday nights, Saturday nights, and experience the world and hit up bars or whatever it is that we do. Or,
I mean, the closest place right now, let's say you want to take your wife out somewhere.
okay.
You're looking at a good one way hour and a half drive to go somewhere.
Okay. Where's the nearest one way awesome place to go?
I mean, you'd have to go to like Little Rock or Memphis.
Okay. So do y'all have restaurants? I mean,
No, we have like fast food, like gas station type chicken places, and that's about it.
Oh, I've also heard that to be termed as like gut food or
Yes.
Get you by in a pinch type stuff.
We're the town that still doesn't have, you know, a red light. It's just one flashing light in the middle of town.
What do you think you'd do if Marvel got a McDonald's?
First of all, I don't know if Marvel could support it. I don't think for one you find the labor force or the people to support it there.
What's the population there?
Probably 900.
Oh, okay. No, I wouldn't support a McDonald's.
But I mean, that's like me and my friends were talking the other day. You know, there's lots of little towns all over everywhere that, like Como, Mississippi has a steakhouse that everyone around here goes to. It's always packed.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a $75 steak.
That sounds good.
And they stay packed. And that's in little bitty tiny Como, Mississippi. That's the size of Marvel. I mean, it just makes you wonder about your town. Like, why can't that be us? You know, what's holding us back?
I don't know, dude. I feel like each little town has its niche, though. Like the thing that kind of drives the economy or whatever. Probably a steakhouse doesn't drive a whole town, but I would like to think that it could.
But I mean, when you get to think about places to eat, and when you're in a small town like we are, and you have to drive all the time, you're like, why can't we be one of those little towns that everybody comes to eat here?
Mm-hmm. I feel that. It's kind of like being on an
I feel
island.
like nobody but big cities have downtowns anymore.
That's true. That is true. So, I mean, everything. I think I like the downtown culture of, like, you know, I live in Little Rock, so
Yeah.
The downtown culture versus like anything that's 3 miles away from it, completely. It's like night and day different. I like all the old buildings that you walk into and they've been redone like 40 or 50 times with new businesses. That's kind of the area that I think pulls me into staying into the Little Rock area, just because it's still growing. It's always changing. It's ever changing. But like you get out of the downtown area and into some of the suburbs, I guess.
No.
Those strip malls, man, they look boring. Dude, I can't.
Most of your downtown places have so much character and charm and just some appeal to it.
Mm-hmm. It's like, you know, Helena, West Helena. That's an interesting town. There's a lot of character. Or Clarksdale, Mississippi, man. I don't know what the big deal is with Clarksdale, Mississippi, but you know, somebody over there might.
That's another one. If we want to go out, we have to drive to Clarksdale, go to the Stone Pony, and have a beer and a pie.
What's the Stone Pony?
It's a little like pizza joint, like brewery, right down the road from Morgan Freeman's place.
Morgan Freeman?
Yeah, he's got a place over in Clarksdale.
The Morgan Freeman?
The Morgan Freeman.
Is it a guitar shop?
No, there is a guitar shop over there that Ronnie owns.
Who's,
And if you ever go by Clarksdale, you need to check Ronnie out. He's a cool dude.
you got any Ronnie stories?
I see. Last time me and my friend went over there to get his guitar worked on, Ronnie had just got through making what he called a big sale. He sold 2 guitars and an amp and some strings. And my buddy went over there to get a lot of work done on his guitar. When he got done, Ronnie said, hey, give me $20, man. I've had a good day. I mean, he'd done like $100, $150 worth of work, but he didn't care. I just like to work on guitars and sit back in the back and drink Tall Boys and Miller Lite and have a good night.
Was he like a Cheech and Chong kind of guy?
Yeah, you would think so. He was definitely your stereotype. Long gray hair,
Yeah.
Looked like he might have been a deadhead at one point.
Dude, this is a cool guitar, man.
Give it a little string for me, brother.
Dude, I just want to play it for a little bit and I'll give it back. Oh, man.
Yeah, that goes back to it, man. There's places like that. There's just so much character everywhere.
Yeah, there really is. I've found that a lot as I've traveled, that the small towns, you give me 4,000 or 5,000 people, and I feel more at home in those towns than I do in the big ones. Yeah, I know I was just saying all the great stuff about Little Rock, but I mean the small town environment, everybody knows everybody,
You feel like someone's always got your back.
Yeah, but at the same time, somebody's always up in your business too.
Well, that's true now.
Yeah.
But they say they have your best interest at heart.
Well, of course they do. Well, it's because they do, right? You obviously should not build your fence the way that you're building your fence, because it'll fall, or whatever the heck it is that you're doing. So
I can remember growing up, you could catch an ass whooping from any old lady going up down the street. It didn't matter.
They tell you get a switch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Your mom and daddy know that I would do this. So,
that's right.
They gave me permission. Actually, I don't need their permission. It takes a village, is what they say. Yeah, it takes a village. So speaking of that, tell me about high school. What'd you do? What was your upbringing?
I was probably straight A kid all the way up until maybe 10th grade.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I got tired of school.
Okay.
30 on my ACT. Pretty, smart kid. Got a presidential scholarship. Like to have fun. Like to party. Like to play sports. Was big in outdoors too.
Okay.
Yeah, we just do a lot of sports and outdoor activities and stuff.
What'd you play? What kind of sports?
Basketball, baseball, football, track.
You think I could cross you up? If we were to play one-on-one right now, you don't think I could take you?
I'd poke it right back between you, pick it up, and come back the other way.
Oh, dang. I don't know, but I don't think I believe that. I used to have, I'm not going to say that I had handles, right? Because I don't want people out there that are listening trying to challenge me, because I'm definitely not that athletic now. But at one point in time, I was a dribble drive and a defender. So,
well, I heard you had like a 2.5 Coke can vertical.
A 2.5, a Coke can vertical? Is that how y'all measure out in the sticks?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's not much. I mean, it's really not. Plyometrics and I were not a thing. Really, I'd really like to look good playing basketball.
I was a dirty player, man. I'd stand on your toes just to get a rebound.
Were you an elbow thrower?
No, I wasn't an elbow thrower.
Oh, man. I was watching a couple guys that
I don't mess up my jump shot. I'd more like in the knees.
Oh, hey, there you go. Dude, throw them in the knees. I was watching a couple guys whenever I was growing up, kind of do a little training. And one of the dudes goes, look, man, you got to keep it in triple threat. If somebody gets too close, first thing you do is you throw that elbow in the sternum. You just hit them right there, and then they'll back off. And if they don't, you hit them even harder. Wham! Then you can blow right by them.
Then knock the breath out of them.
Yeah, I didn't incorporate that in my game, but I probably could have. What gets you up and going, man? What's your drive?
Fires me up. I guess, man, like I said earlier, just really big in the family. I mean, I love getting up every morning and getting my kids ready.
Okay.
Waking up, seeing their eyes, especially this time of year with the elf on the shelf and all that stuff, getting to hide it and watching them go run around the house and look for it.
I have not understood that trend.
I don't know. It's just another way for us parents to have a way to be like, hey, somebody's watching you. You better act right.
Okay, so the elf on the shelf. Explain it to somebody who doesn't have kids.
It's like Santa's helper, you know. Santa has elves, and this is the elf on the shelf that you every night or whenever you get a chance, you hide it in a different location. You can make it do different things, but you try to keep the magic of it alive from moving it from place to place. That way the child thinks that it's actually moving throughout the day. And it might actually could report back to Santa and tell him that you were being good or bad.
I'll have to remember that in like 4 or 5 years whenever I'm a dad. It's
just another shameless ploy to get your kids back, right?
You lie to your kids often?
Whatever it takes, man. Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. Hey, look, honestly, I think a white lie or two probably isn't that bad of a thing. But, I mean
what do I do, though? I mean, you fix all this up, and the kids come running in there, and they're all bright eyes and smiles and having a great, oh, look, Daddy moved, blah, blah, blah. You know, nope, I did that, kid. I did that last night.
That's right. Yeah. Mom and Dad set that up for you. We're tired. Open them up. Let us go back to bed. Give us a day off. Go outside and play. Ride that new bike. So, 3 kids is what I'm seeing in here. Tell us about your kid.
2 boys and a girl.
Yeah.
Been married for 10 years now. Dated my wife for probably 5 years prior to that.
Okay.
So we were together for a long time.
Y'all been together 15 years?
Mm-hmm.
Man, that is a long time. You got any good stories?
Walked in here and threw some fingers up like gang signs at me and told me it was a different number, but I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah. That's right. Hey, you got to love the background technicians, man. They'll keep you on track.
She just loves to keep me in check, I guess.
Dude, I was doing some stuff for an Instagram promo that I don't think I ever really posted. Maybe I did. I don't know. But I was talking about one of the episodes that I had done, and I'm like, yeah, and my good friend so-and-so, and my wife's like, are you sure you want to call him your good friend? Like way in the back. Like she's not even in the room. And I'm like, okay, I don't know that I asked you to be here, but I will take your input. You are correct. Mm-hmm. That sounds weird. I have best friends. I don't have good friends. And great buddies and pals. I've got all the above. But good friends, having a good friend doesn't really sound all that great.
I mean, it doesn't really sound like an honor.
No, yeah, he's just like,
you're my good friend. I could be a great friend, could be a best, but you're a good friend. I mean, it just sounds like mediocre at best.
Well, that's like you, dude. Like, you're like my best friend.
We're the 2 best friends?
Yes, that anyone could have. That's why I had to have you on my show. I was like, oh, Matthew Catlett, he needs to be here. You ever, in the high school age, do you ever have like a side hustle, something that you did to make a little extra cheese?
Man, I've been working since I was probably 11, 12 years old.
Oh, come on, man.
When I was young, I mean, my parents instilled in me, you got to work if you want anything.
Okay.
I had like a $600 a week yard route. Just pushing yards.
Did you do it all with a push mower?
Yeah.
$600
On occasion, my grandfather would come cheat and help me out, and he'd ride the riding mower for me. And I'd just weed eat and clean everything up. My dad, like, he was like, no, if you want to make this money, I'll put the gas in the push mower. You're going to push mower.
You were making $600 a week, and your dad was buying your gas?
I know. I mean, I didn't actually get to see any of the money or touch the money. My parents put it up to me. But I tell you this, when I got older, when I got like 16, I didn't have to ask for money to go get gas for the car.
No, probably not. Dude, that's how many yards were you doing?
God, man, like probably 15 to 20.
See, I did that when I was in like late high school. I had a lawn service, and my goal
as soon as I got up in late high school, I was working at a seed plant.
A seed plant?
A seed plant. Just nothing but bags of seed of like wheat, soybeans, corn before the farmers take it and put it out in the fields.
Tell all those city folk what the heck happens out in the country. What do y'all do? What's the driving economy other than the generic, fireman answer? What do people do there?
I mean, you either own land or you work on land. That's about it.
Okay.
There's not much that goes on around. There's small businesses and things like, you've got to have your town barber and things like that. There's not much here, man.
Okay.
You've been through here a few times. There's not much
I have
here.
been through there a few times. I think one of my favorite things to do is try to catch you guys after y'all been to get your hair cut. I do this thing
with Mr. Shaky Hands that cuts our hair.
I don't know.
It looks like he's having epilepsy every time he goes to put the hand up next to your head.
I've never met this guy, but I found out a long time ago that in some of these small towns, everybody will go get it seems like everybody goes and gets their hair cut on their lunch break. And so if I catch you at the right time, it's right after a haircut when you're feeling good about it. And if I look at your hair and not your eyes when we talk, you get really self-conscious.
I feel like you're messing with me, man. Like I was feeling good about my new do and everything, and I feel like you're bashing it and hating on it. I know you're not. You're just trying to screw with me with what you're doing.
That's exactly what I'm doing, and it works too. But I don't do it to just you. I've got several people that I do it to, but I just know that it's really effective whenever I'm trying to mess with you. What can I say? It's my way of having fun. So, have you ever considered being the town something? Like if there was a badge that you would want to carry in your town, what would it be?
There's not really anything I want to do.
No?
There is, we do have a young mayor and city hall.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of young people getting involved.
Okay.
I'm just not going to be one of them.
You don't want to be in the politics game?
No.
Dude, small town politics is the way to go.
No, man. All those people that were up in your business when you're in a small town because you know everybody? Mm-hmm. Now they're up in your business with an attitude because they want you to do something about everybody.
Dude, I was in one of my accounts one day, and this lady walks in. The owner of the store is the town's mayor. And she goes, excuse me, sir, but I've asked the city 5 times for a stop sign at the end of my road. We need one. When are you going to put one there? And I'm like, man, this is not the kind of thing that I would want to be fielding right now in the middle of my work day.
That's all you get. I feel like all you get are complaints and people's attitudes. I bet you not once, no matter what you do, does anyone ever tell you, hey, good job. Way to go on this project or that project.
Dude, I would think it's kind of the same way whenever you're the mayor of New York City.
That's true.
You just gotta have broad shoulders to be the mayor. And dude, you could do it, man. You're a father of 3.
Just imagine what goes on in a small town. Farmer Fred's chicken got out and he's over in my yard and I want to put it. Well, go get it. Who cares?
Go get it.
I'm not dealing with that.
You should. Honestly, be the guy that helps somebody, Matthew. What's wrong?
Go over there, shoot his chicken, fry it up, give it back to him and say, hey, sorry about your chicken.
Yeah. Hope he tastes good.
He won't be back in my yard though.
Yeah. I hope you got plenty of eggs from him too, because you ain't getting no more of those either. Oh man. Are you a truck guy?
Am I a truck guy?
Yeah.
My first vehicle was, a Ford Explorer. Had it for a week. Tree fell on top of it.
Oh.
Got another Ford Explorer. And it wasn't until I was probably in my late 20s that I got my first truck.
Okay.
It was all SUVs or cars.
Okay.
Mostly cars for work.
Okay. So you were, you're talking about the sales gig type work.
But when I got adult money, I started buying trucks.
That's right. Well, dude, tell me about some of the things you used to do to entertain yourself while driving as much as you probably drove all over Northwest Arkansas.
I'm sure a lot of times it freaks my wife out whenever we go on long vacations, but if a good, Whitney Houston, I'll Always Love You comes on, I'm going to belt that sucker out as loud as I can, windows down.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You just turn the radio on, find you, say, a podcast, which mostly back then, those weren't a thing. But Mostly music back then.
Mm-hmm. So I was always, if we're talking about Whitney Houston, I'm more of like, how will I know?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So I mean anything, but shameless, dude. I'm a car concert enthusiast. Like I am the best singer in my car when I'm driving, hands down. Nobody can beat me. And I and I just belt boldly too.
I mean, a lot of that time I know they tell you like use it for planning and preparation and all that. And I would try to do that, but I felt like ADD was kicking in like every 5 seconds. I'd be like, wow, what about this?
Mm-hmm. Did you get more or less ADD after starting your sales job?
More.
More? How so?
I don't know. I felt it got to the point where it was almost hard to listen to people because you were always thinking of something else while they were speaking.
Mm-hmm. I think I understand that.
And that's a bad habit to get into, but it's like, you're telling me something and it's important to you, but it makes no difference to me on a non-personal level.
Uh-huh.
In my mind, it's 8 to 5. I'm working, so wheels are clicking that way.
Mm-hmm. Man, it's kind of weird getting to a point to where you're like answering somebody's questions before they're asking them, or moving from one, real quick story to interrupting to another one. Or that's, dude, I can see where one could get much more ADD spending a whole bunch of time by themselves. It's like being in solitary confinement, but behind the wheel of a car.
Yeah.
So now
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, dude, I'm all for it. Let's hear what you got.
I was going to ask you, like, what's your best story you have from like any type of work? Like just crazy work story. Like could be the funniest, could be the most insane day.
So yeah, I was in a part of Arkansas a while ago. These two dudes come walking in the store, one like right after another. One guy comes in, sets some stuff on the counter, says, "I'd like to return this." A couple minutes later, this other dude walks in, goes, "Hey, bro, you stole those out of my truck." They had a fist fight in the store.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. So, dude, I've seen that's happened twice in a couple of my, but like, it's just, I mean, people are crazy, man.
They are.
I never thought I'd see a fist fight in a store, especially a hardware store. So
I got to see the aftermath of one.
Oh,
working at a hotel once. It was awesome.
Oh, give it to me.
It was a couple had checked in together. I thought it was a couple, and the woman was actually worked for a university. I'll leave names out and everything, but she worked for a university, and the guy she was with was a higher position than her at the university. And they were having an affair together. Well, this lady's husband, comes in to check into the room because he wants to surprise her and ask for a key. And legally, I have to give him a key because the idiots put his name on the room to get the points. So I give him a key to get up there, but
I got to get those points, man. Got to get those points.
It's worth it. I can't. I can cheat on my husband, but I can't not get the points for it.
That's right.
So he goes up there, knocks on the door because his key won't work, opens it, and there's this guy who's having an affair with his wife just standing there in a row. Well, he grabs the iron from right when you walk in, the hotel iron, and comes across this guy's head and splits him wide open. And then from there, it just is completely on. They're tearing up the sink in the bathroom, the big armoire that holds the TV, putting holes in the wall. It's like $11,000, $12,000 worth of damage to a hotel room.
Dang.
Just destroyed it. He comes running down. He's got a towel over his head, hollering about, call somebody. Well, we had cops that worked there on duty, and I'd already informed them of what was going on. They were on their way up there. And when he got to me, I just gave him a big towel and put it on his head. Well, the cops started asking questions. They want to know if he wants to press charges. And he tells them, look, I don't want to press any charges as long as y'all can keep him off me. He's like, I want no more. I guess he just got an ass whooping and he didn't want any more of it. It was interesting.
Dude.
Come to work Monday morning, find out they're both fired. It was wow. It was great.
What do you think of the hotel business?
Man, you can see some crazy people and some nice. I mean, you get the whole gambit of everybody. You think working at a 9-to-5 job or something like that, you get to see a lot of who all's out in the community, but you work a late night shift or something at a hotel, and that's when, like they say, I guess the freaks come out.
Mm, I believe it, man. I don't know that I would want to be the one that was just the person working during the adultery story.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a little weird.
I was the manager on duty. I had to deal with all that, the paperwork and everything.
Yeah. Was
That
it
was
a
fun.
was it a fast night?
It was.
I bet it was, man. It's going down at the Holiday Inn, fist fights and everything. We're gonna kill each other in the bedroom. So, tell me about your time in college. What'd you do there?
I first started off at Conway, went to UCA.
Okay.
Had no clue what I wanted to be, what I wanted to do. Flunked out, dropped out twice there, went back home to PC in Helena. Did 2 semesters there, went back to ULR in Little Rock, then went to Fayetteville, then back to ULR, then back to Fayetteville, and ended up with a business degree.
Okay. So, how are you using that business degree today?
I think it's over at my mom's house hanging up somewhere.
Okay. Would you say that you're applying your degree in the sales field?
No, I wouldn't. I mean, I don't think I gained anything other than personal experiences from college. Had I had to do all over again, I probably would not have went to college. I'd have done something else.
Mm-hmm. Dude, I would actually send like if our kids decided that they wanted to go to trade school, I would totally send my kids to trade school right now.
Yeah.
I mean, the average age of a plumber is 58 years old. That's the working age of a plumber. So you give those guys probably another 8 or 10 years to phase out. I mean, it's like a name your price tool with the jobs that you're doing. So
Yeah, after you've paid your dues for like the first 4 years of doing something like that, it's bank after that versus 4 years of paying for college and then having to pay for it for the rest of your life.
yeah, exactly.
You try to find something useful to do with it.
Yeah. So, well, dude, speaking of college, let's pretend that I have student loans to pay off. Take a commercial break.
I've got a question for you. Did you see today that Notre Dame is still in the top 4?
You know, I did see that. And yes, let's see here. Just so everybody knows, it's like 12/20, 2020. And I'm probably going to release this in like a month. But I did see that Notre Dame is still in the running for the. I don't agree with it. I truly don't.
I mean, are they just you picking back off the first time you beat Clemson? Is that basically it?
I mean, I just 31-3. I know what it was. It was 35.
Yeah, I mean, it was a large deficit.
It was a very big upset, and a lot of people are vying for like Texas A&M to be in there, and I think Ohio State's in it too. And I don't agree with that. I don't think Ohio State should be in it. Not after playing 4 or 5 games this season. That doesn't make any sense to me.
And struggled mightily against Northwestern yesterday.
Oh, absolutely, dude. They're gonna have their ups and downs, but I guess that's what happens whenever you only start practicing in like late September for an October start date. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. I do not agree. And one thing that I noticed the other day, they were showing the college football playoff committee in the middle of watching they were in a socially distant watch party. All of them are hanging out, sitting back in their chair with their feet kicked up. Not a single one of them is taking notes. I didn't see a notepad in front of anybody. Now tell me how a whole bunch of gray heads can sit there and go, well, this is the best 4 teams that we got. You know, I mean, you would think that there would be some sort of analytics to go along with how they make these decisions.
I mean, what's their measuring stick, though? I mean, I don't think anyone will ever know.
I don't think there is one. After looking at what I looked at yesterday, it's just like one of those things that, you know, well, popularity contest. I think that's their measuring stick.
I think a lot of it plays into too early of like preseason projections and things like that.
I don't agree with those either. I mean, tell me how some of these small
You get way too heavy on that. I mean, you got Penn State riding the number 8, wasn't it, going into the season?
Yeah. Yeah.
It took 6 weeks in for them to finally win a ball game.
Mm-hmm. Oh, dude, that's like where Texas or Oklahoma starting out as highly touted as they are, and then slowly working their way out And dude, when I say slowly working their way out of being ranked, I mean slowly working their way out of being ranked. I mean, I'm pretty sure OU was like 2-3 at one point this year and still carried a rank. That doesn't make sense to me either. No, I don't agree with it. Let's see here. The 20 most fun and outrageous conversation starters for any couple.
All right.
Let's see, Matthew.
Give me number 6.
Number 6. Oh, okay. You decide to visit Las Vegas. Unfortunately, a giant geoelectrical storm erupts with a mass amount of lightning. A bolt strikes the entire city, causing all the power to go out except the little karaoke joint you are currently in. It has been said that the sweet sound of the perfect karaoke song can cure a geoelectrical storm. What song do you sing to save the world? Dude, what question.
That is a good question.
Oh, man. So here's my answer.
I might throw it back to my car song, Whitney Houston's "I'll Always Love You." I only have to know like 5 words.
That's true. Yeah, I think I'd hit him probably Pyramids off of Frank Ocean's album. So let's see here. There's 1 through 20. Let me hit you with another one. Give me another number.
13.
13. All right. So while rummaging through a yard sale, you come across a magic remote control that gives you the ability to insert yourself into any TV sitcom. What show are you planning yourself into, and which character would you replace?
Any television show. I'd go into Yellowstone and be Rip.
Dude, I don't know what Yellowstone is. Please enlighten me.
It's on the Paramount Network. It's on its second season, just wrapped up this past year. Third season's coming out probably next March.
Okay.
I think it's the hottest show on the planet right now, but I might be mistaken.
Okay.
But it's just about life in Yellowstone with a cattle rancher, and it's like a modern day Western.
Okay. Dude, I think, do you ever
But not like a Westworld type thing. It's like real people.
Westworld's something interesting too. Would you go into Westworld?
Yeah.
What would your goal be in the Westworld situation?
I think it'd be awesome to go in there and just get completely smashed and then like get into a bar fight and have a shootout.
Yeah, just knowing that you're gonna live.
You know you're gonna win. You're gonna live. You're gonna win. You just blow that robot up. You're just like, yeah, I told you.
That's right. I don't know what I would do there. I mean, I'm not a horse guy, so I don't really know that thing would do much for me. Maybe I could
hang out in the saloon with me.
I could do that. Or, I mean, I've always wanted to be a train conductor. So if I know that I'm going to win, I mean, I could do that.
Yeah.
You want to be my co-captain?
I'll be the guy that runs out in front of you and gets all those people off the train tracks that are tied down.
That's right. Come on. I don't know. Dude, the saloon in that show is like, it's like the hub, man. Everything moves out of there.
That's like a simple place.
Y'all have a saloon in Marvel?
No saloon, no watering tavern, nothing to wet your lip with, sir.
Wow. Well, how do you gather amongst your peers?
House parties.
Oh. Let's have a
house
party.
We're worried about that now with social distancing.
It's been a strange have y'all seen much slowdown in the gathering of people where you guys are?
But I mean, I have like 3 or 4 people that I basically hang out with in my town.
Okay.
That I see on a probably 3 times a week basis or so.
Okay. Are they people that you work with?
No, these are other than the people I work with.
Okay. Gotcha. I mean,
that's like work family. You ever whenever you work with like a lot of people or a group of people, you feel like you almost live two lives because you've got that 9 to 5 life and then you've got your afterlife?
Yes. Yes, I do. You've got the be good while you're in public and then the be who you are whenever you're at home. Is that what you're asking me?
Yes.
Yes, I have. It's kind of strange. I guess the time that I could say that applies to me most is whenever I was growing up in the hardware store. I'm 17, 18 years old, and you have to fit in and act like an adult, whenever you're working for somebody. And then whenever you get off, you go do the exact opposite of what it was that you were just talking about doing. So I don't know. And I had like a whole bunch of old coworkers too, like a whole bunch of them. I had this old guy named Tom that whenever he had like this long white hair and this big thick beard, is like Santa Claus, and he was a storyteller. And I never ever understood how anybody could get broken up in the middle of a story for like an hour and pick right back up where they left off. But Tom could do it.
He would hold that one spot and be like, hold on.
Yes.
Let me pin that.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like we would get busy. Like we would see a rush of customers come in for 20, 30 minutes. And he had been in the middle of telling me something. And he would just pick right back up where he left off. He was an old carpenter. He was a cool dude. Maybe I'll have him on at some point. I don't know. So you want to talk about a few stories about your early life and what molded you into who you are.
Okay, we can do that.
Give me a couple of them, man.
Let's see. I've already touched base on a little bit of those things with the work ethic and things like that. But I mean, I can always remember, like, all right, going back to Fuller C growing up. I was a tiny kid, probably 6 foot, but I was like 145 pounds, 150 pounds most. And they had this metal box. It was like a big square that went up probably 6 feet tall.
Okay.
And I would have to stand in that all day long and catch these 60-pound bags and stack them. And that's how you make a pallet.
Okay.
And it was like the box of hell.
I believe that.
All metal. There was no breathing on it or anything, no holes. So it was just hot.
Oh, man.
So you do that for a whole day, then go to 2 days and come back and then bale hay all day. Yeah, it's got to do something for you.
Are you built for it tough because of that job?
I would say so.
Country strong?
I still break. Yeah, I would say probably Ford tough because I break down on the regular.
Gotcha. Did they give you a beer like back when you were 14, like after you got done? I know you lived in the country and there's like different rules and stuff. So are they just like, here, quench your thirst with this natty ice?
No, they did not. But I do remember as a young man, probably being well underage, and we would drive our four-wheelers, our ATVs around.
Mm-hmm.
And we would say we would be going camping or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And there was always that one, like every small town has, establishment that would sell to underage kids.
Ah, yes.
And we'd go out in the woods or whatever and camp out, and it'd be like a group of 6 of us, and we'd get a hold of a 6-pack.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish, and my budget wishes, I could go back to those days where I could just drink one beer and just almost piss on myself and roll around having fun all up.
Dude, there's something that was always so, I don't know, the stimulus that you got from doing bad things. I didn't do a whole lot of bad things. I guess the only thing that I did growing up that I probably shouldn't have was like, a little Copenhagen or something like that. But I mean, even then, like those are some of the best nicotine buzzes that I ever got.
Well, even though I was from a small town, there was still like, especially when I was growing up, there was probably, I don't know, I can name 12 kids my age or around that we all hung out with.
Mm-hmm.
And behind our house, there's like a big ditch. And in the summertime, it's always dry. And that was like the alley. We'd all meet up back there because it ran behind all of our houses. And you could like just go in and come out at someone's house. You didn't have to get on the street and everything. Nobody'd see you. And we'd all try to come up with something cool. Like somebody would bring a dirty magazine, or you'd have a can of Skull. Or...
just hang out, man. It was just boys doing what boys do. Did you learn any lessons from those days?
I mean, I guess I did. I mean, I know a lot of what to expect when my kids get older, I guess. I shouldn't have very many surprises.
Fair enough. So one of the good things, I guess I've always heard that it takes a village, to raise your kids. Do you have anybody in town that would whoop your kids and you'd be like, well, you deserved it?
Yeah, I mean, probably. I mean, because like I said, that used to happen to us all the time growing up.
Mm-hmm. So
there was somebody's garden that was next to our little alleyway, little system that we used for transportation, I guess you could say, back in the day. And it was a berry patch. And we didn't really know that because we were young. We were probably like 10 years old. And we'd climb up over in the berry patch. And you could climb up on the top like you were some WWF guy and jump off and land on it. And they'd just bust. And they'd cover you, but you wouldn't get hurt because it was like it's like landing on grapes.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember one day we came back walking down the street and we were completely covered in purple. It had just stained all of our clothes. And some lady was hollering at us, wanting to know where we'd been. And we just took off running because we didn't want to explain because we knew we'd be in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So I ran to my house because I thought my parents were gone. And my mother meets me at the back door because apparently 2 other people have already called her and told her what we were doing.
Oh.
So my mother beat the purple off of me. Hey, if you're going to be stupid, you better be tough.
That's right. We ought to do the podcast on that. Oh man, tell me about your neighbor situation. What's that like?
I mean, I could ask for better neighbors, but they're pretty good to me. My parents live next door to me.
Okay, are y'all pretty close?
Yeah, we're really close.
No, I'm not meaning like obviously y'all got a good relationship. I mean,
yes, we have a really good relationship, and it's really nice because I mean, like right now while I'm doing this podcast, my kids are over there.
Okay.
That's why it's not mass pandemonium and chaos here right now.
Is it like 500 yards to get to your neighbor? Or
maybe 20 yards.
Maybe 20 yards. Oh, dang. Y'all are close, man. You live in a neighborhood in the country?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm in what used to be known as the Central Highway of Marble.
Okay. A lot of through traffic?
Yes. It used to be the only road before they put in the highway out.
Okay.
That was what took you from Helena to Little Rock.
Hmm. What the heck were we talking about before I asked you that stupid
everything, man.
About your neighbor?
Hey, let me find these keys real quick. Did a little hat switch on me.
No, I didn't.
Oh, you did? I thought you were wearing a black hat.
No, dude. Same hat, man. You must have been watching all my promo videos and things of that nature. I go back and forth between this hat and another one. And I've thought about getting a third hat that's actually got my cool little microphone man logo on it.
Okay.
But I hadn't done it yet.
You gonna get you some merch?
I thought about it. You want a shirt?
A little merch shop.
You want one? I'll send you my t-shirt design. Hang on. Let me see here. If I can find it, I'll send it over to you. And,
okay.
Tell me what you think of it, man. So Matthew Catlett, he needs the merch. Boom. Here we go. Check your phone, cowboy. Tell me what you think.
You got to try to milk this for all you can, man.
What milk? What the podcast?
The podcast.
Hey, I'm setting up a GoFundMe. It's going to be GoFundMe. It's going to be GoFundMe.com//The Daily People Podcast. If you would, just go ahead and donate like $1,000 so I can buy some merch. I'll hand it out to my guest, and that's a call to action to everybody, not just you. Let's see what else. I was just kidding about the call to action. But what do you think of the shirt, man?
I like it. I really do.
Yeah. Is there anything that you do? Dude, it would be a cool hoodie. So the problem is by the time you get them, it's probably going to be more towards the not so cold time of the year. But yeah, I'm excited about that. I don't know if I'm going to do them or not. And really what I want to do is I think I want to get one for myself and then kind of put them out on the gram. Or maybe I just get them and then for each guest that I have on, I find a way to get them one. I'm undecided. What do you think I should do?
I mean, I feel like if every guest you have on the show donates $1,000 like you want me to, I think you won't have any problem getting any
No,
merchandise.
it's not you, man. It's not you. You're giving your time and you're giving your donation and
But we get one back, though, you said, so it's all worth it.
that's right, dude. It's the most expensive shirt you'll ever buy. How much would you spend on a t-shirt? Where do you draw the line?
I haven't bought an article of clothing in probably, I couldn't tell you how long. But I will. I take that back. I will occasionally. Like I bought a Miami Hurricanes t-shirt the other day. It's supposed to be here for Christmas.
Okay.
It was on sale for $25.
It's a good deal. I have a hard time spending more than $25 on a t-shirt. Just if I'm being honest, I can't do it. It says $29.99.
A hoodie that was like the camouflage edition
of that
for
shirt.
the Wounded Warrior Foundation deal.
Okay.
But it was more than what I was willing to go without getting my wife's approval, you know.
That's right, man. Got to make sure the boss is in charge. So
I mean, I was able to slip into the new Call of Duty last month without her saying anything. I don't think she noticed.
I know it, dude. I still need to get that, too.
I think I told her. I think she did say something. I said, that was my PlayStation Plus membership. It auto renews every year.
It's a good answer, man.
That comes out in January, so I've got like 2 months to figure this out.
So you elf on the shelf your wife, too.
I did.
That's what I'm hearing. Oh, man.
You got to pick your battles, brother. You got to pick your battles.
That's right.
And I try not to go to war with her.
Dude, that's a good plan. It's a good plan. You know,
Because I've yet to win a battle, so I know I don't want to go to war.
Oh, dude, you definitely don't. Definitely don't. I've heard the power of yes, ma'am goes a long way. You got anything you really want to pass on to our listeners? Anybody that's paying attention that you've learned from your life?
I mean, if I had one nugget of wisdom, I guess it would be just always be true to yourself. Always, how they say, always do you. Okay. Be who you want to be. Don't let anyone hold you back or anything hold you back. Don't let a past experience or negativity of any kind from anyone hold you back. Just do you.
Okay. How do you live that? How do you put that in your day-to-day?
Probably by not listening to half of what people say. Whether it be in a conversation or what. I mean, just do me. I mean, look at me, man. You can see me. No one else can. But I'm sitting here across from you in a T-shirt that makes it look like I'm a member of Hell's Angels with Tammy Slick.
I was going to ask what kind of bike you rode.
It's a Huffy. 4 pegs.
You got training wheels on it still?
Nope. No. Got rid of my training wheels and put the pegs on. It's time to do tricks. Dude.
Has anybody given you like a little bell to go on the front wheel? Because apparently that's a thing that you're supposed to have too.
Really?
Yeah, dude. My dad had a Harley for a while. And apparently whenever you buy a motorcycle, that you get like your, I don't know what they call it. I'll call it like your not death bell, but you put it on one of the spokes, not the spokes, but on part of the mount that goes around the tire. Hang it on there. It's a good luck thing.
Huh.
I'll get you one for your Huffy.
Okay.
You can wear it. So actually, dude, I will. I'll bring you one. I'll show it to you. I'm sure I can give it to somebody at some point, but what do you plan on doing in the next 10 years? What is
next 10 years? I hope I'm coming back for a reunion show after this thing just blows up.
Dude, it will, man. It will. So, currently my plan for it to blow up is just for everybody to share it and me to try to keep having some great guests like yourself on. So outside of the reunion.
In 10 years, it's hard for me to think like 10 years because, I mean, everything right now for me personally seems like it's just flying by. And my kids are growing up so fast. Everything's constantly changing. In 10 years, I don't know. My oldest kid will be 16, so I guess I'll be having to worry about him being out on the road driving and everything. I'll have a 14-year-old and a 10-year-old.
And a 10-year-old. So you just want to be
super. Yes, in the back of my mind, I'm just thinking 8 more years in the house to myself.
That's right, man. My parents always told me they were going to run around naked whenever my sister and I moved out.
My parents always told me that too. That's why I moved to Fayetteville.
Oh, I figured that's why you moved next door to them.
Afraid to come home. See,
I don't blame you, dude. I don't blame you. You know, I feel like there are times when it sounds like a good idea to be an empty nester, but I feel like there's also some times where it's really good just to have your house full again.
I can see that. I mean, my wife was gone like 2 days out of the week to go visit her mom with the kids and stuff, so she can see them. So when I'm here on those nights, it's so quiet. I'm by myself. I mean, yes, I could do whatever I wanted to a certain degree, but it's just eerie feeling that you're here by yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You're just chilling, man.
Sometimes silence can be the scariest thing.
Oh, dude, it could. So, any last nuggets of wisdom on our way out, man?
Like I said, everyone just stay true to yourself, enjoy life, and keep checking this man out.
Keep checking him out.
If he puts up some merch, by God, go buy it.
That's right. Or donate so I can have the funds to do it on the front side. Just kidding again. So Matthew Catlett, one of the great guests of the Daily People podcast. Thank you so much for taking time.
I loved
to
it.
hang out
Thank
with
you.
us. So do you have an Instagram, a Twitter, a Facebook? Do you want anybody to follow you from our show? If so, tell them how they can find you.
I only have Facebook.
Okay, that's right.
And it's under my name.
Okay.
I think that's how that works.
Look him up, Matthew Catlett. He's only on Facebook. He'll start a fan page after this. Check him out. He's a cool dude. Thanks again, man.
Appreciate it.
Yep. Hey, what's going on, y'all? This is your host, John Mark Spear. I wanted to take a moment to just say thank you for listening to the podcast. If you enjoyed it, please share it. If you have any questions about it, you can reach out to me. My email is johnmarkspear0830@gmail.com.